Luke chapter 5. Beginning with verse number 27, the scripture says, "And after these things he went forth, and saw a publican named Levi, sitting at the receipt of custom, and he said unto him, Follow me. And he left all, rose up, and followed him. And Levi made him a great feast in his own house, and there was a great company of publicans, and of others that sat down with them. But their scribes and Pharisees murmured against his disciples, saying, Why do ye eat and drink with publicans and sinners? And Jesus answering said unto them, They that are whole need not a physician, but they that are sick. I came not to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance." I think by now that we can conclude that Jesus intentionally developed positive relationships with people everywhere that he went. Especially unsaved people, especially unrighteous people, especially non-church going people, especially people in need of repentance. Now, I love the book of John, because every story, every event, every miracle in John was for the purpose of getting people to believe that Jesus was God. So all throughout the Gospels, Jesus was focused on intentionally meeting and changing people. Getting them to believe was his priority. May I say, getting people to believe that Jesus is God should be our priority also. It should not only be the preacher's priority, it should be your priority. Everyone who believes that Jesus is God, that by believing on him we have eternal life, that should be our priority also. Today in Luke chapter 5, Jesus meets a guy by the name of Matthew or Levi. The Bible tells us that he's a tax collector. He's at work. He's collecting taxes. And Jesus barges into his office and says, Hey, buddy, follow me. He immediately quits his job, and immediately he obeys and he follows. Now, that's amazing to me. That's amazing to me because it's difficult to get Christians to follow him, much less quit their jobs, much less like Zacchaeus last week, give half of everything he had to the poor, pay back 4 times everything that he had taken that he shouldn't have taken. You know, as Christians, when we get saved, when we believe on Christ, our lives should change and our lives should be transformed, should they not? And when Zacchaeus last week, as we learned about him, when he got saved, his life changed. When he began to repent, his life changed. When he began making restitution, his life changed. Levi, Matthew here, this tax collector in Luke chapter 5, his life is beginning to change. And may I say that when we get saved, our lives need to change. When we get right with God, our lives need to change. As believers, we need to begin repenting every moment of our lives because of the things that we think and the things that we say and the things that we do and the reactions that we have and the negative things that take place in our lives many times. We need to be people of change. We need to be people that are transformed. We come and we get saved and we sit in church. Our lives should begin to change. We shouldn't act like the way we used to act before we got saved, before we believed on Christ. Our lives need to be different. In my lesson this morning in the Sunday school hour with the college kids, I was talking about how salvation is more than just getting saved, just getting justified, just getting our sins forgiven and getting to go to heaven. There's so much more about salvation than just that. Jesus didn't come and die and save us just so that we can go to heaven. Yes, he did that. but he also died, and he forgave us of our sins so that we would live for him, and so that we would serve him, so that we would grow in Christ, so that we would abide in Christ, and Christ would abide in us. Jesus also died so that one day we'll have a marvelous resurrection. And the way we live our lives now will determine how bright our star is all throughout eternity. And so it's so important to get saved, yes, but it's also important to grow in Christ, and our lives change and our lives transform, and we become more like the image of the Lord Jesus. So Jesus barges into Matthew's office. He says, "Follow me," and he immediately quits his job and begins to obey and follow him. Sometime later, the Bible tells us that Matthew throws a party. Jesus was always going to parties. Don't get upset with Jesus. Jesus liked to party. And he partied the right way. Now, he didn't party like you all party sometimes, the wrong way. When he partied the right way. And he partied for the right reason. And he was criticized by the Pharisees, by the religious people, when he hung around sinners. The Bible tells us sometimes later, Matthew threw a party so Jesus could meet his friends. You see, Matthew was interested in his friends meeting Jesus just as he had met Jesus. He was interested in his friends changing just as he was changing. I think it's interesting, the religious crowd, as I've already said, who was always second-guessing Jesus, everything that he did, he was always second-guessing Jesus. That reminds me of some good church members from time to time. You're always second-guessing everything that takes place here at the church. You're always second-guessing. And this religious crowd, who was always second-guessing Jesus, criticized him again for his intentional interest in having a relationship with people. May I say, a lot of religious people are still critical. A lot of religious people are still bad-mouthing. A lot of religious people are still hypocritical. A lot of religious people are still accusing anyone who's trying to make a difference in people's lives. I want you to know something. I'm not perfect, and I'm never going to be perfect. I know that's news to you today. I know that some of you are shocked that I would even admit that. And it even being true, but it's true. I'm not perfect. I will never be perfect until I see Jesus, until eternity, until my glorification, until my resurrection, until I'm changed in the twinkling of an eye. And may I remind you that you're not going to be perfect until you're changed in a twinkling of an eye when Jesus comes again also. Thank you for those two people that believe the truth this morning. But it's the truth. A lot of religious people are still critical and bad-mouthing and hypocritical and accusing anyone who's trying to make a difference in people's lives. Listen, you need to, when I do something wrong, which is not very often, but when you do find out that I've done something wrong, you need to say, you know what, he gets up every day, and yeah, bless God, we need to pray for him. He's not a perfect pastor, but you know what? He gets up every day and tries to make a difference in people's lives. And if you'll focus on that, you won't focus on anything else that I do wrong. We need to focus on the good. We need to focus on the positive. We need to stop being so accusatory. We need to stop being so critical. We need to stop having critical spirits, finding fault with everything and finding fault with everyone. The problem is you're critical. The problem is you're not perfect. The problem is you're trying to make yourself look better than everybody else that's around you. Religious people are the worst critics in the world. At least they can be. But we need to focus on the good things that they're doing in people's lives. Back a few years ago, we had a youth exchange here at the church, and I think it was the first one that we had, and the lights were off, and it was kind of smoky, and because of the lights are so hot, on Facebook, I put a picture on Facebook, and it did look pretty dark in here, and it was kind of misty looking, and it was pretty cool looking. I kind of liked it, but there was somebody, after I put it on Facebook, they made a post under my picture. It said, "It looks like a nightclub." And I thought to myself, now how do I answer that? So I slept on it. You know, it's always good to sleep on it when you're not really sure what you should say. Amen? And so the next day, the Lord revealed to me what the post underneath that other post should be. I wanted to be critical to them. I wanted to say, you know what I'm thinking. You unsanctified folks today, you know what I'm thinking. I wanted to really give it to him. I posted on there, the night 205 young people received Christ as their Savior. I thought that was a pretty good post. Yeah, that's something to clap about. And the next day I went back to the post, and his post had been deleted. I think he got the message. Why are we so critical? Why do we want to be so critical? We need to look at the good things that people and the difference that people are making in other lives. You know, there's nothing wrong with disagreeing. We're going to disagree. And could I just stop here for a moment and just take a few moments to just talk to you about the importance of knowing how to disagree without being so accusatory, without being so critical, without being so hypocritical about it, without pointing a finger at everybody else when you got three fingers pointing back at yourself. Could I just stop for a little bit and just talk to you about not having a critical spirit? Could I do that for just a little while? All the critical people will say, "Thank you very much. I'm going to continue on." Let me just stop for a moment. There's nothing wrong with disagreeing. There's nothing wrong with disagreeing with me. There's nothing wrong with analyzing things and questioning things and asking questions. But how we do those things make all the difference in the world. It makes all the difference in the world. A couple of weeks ago, I received an email from a pastor on the from up north somewhere. He was putting together the Indiana Pastors Alliance press conference, an open letter of censure to Republican leadership, and all the Democrats said, gave you a chance. An open letter of censure to Republican leadership for failure to protect the religious liberty of Hoosiers. And so I get this email from this guy. And it said the Indiana Pastors Alliance will be holding a press conference on Monday, April 27, 2015 at the Indiana State House at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to present an open letter of censure to the governor and legislative leadership for their epic failure to protect the religious liberty of Hoosiers. So I read that, and I had to think about that for a while. And so I sent him an email, and I'd like to read it to you today. Pastor Johnson. My father, Dr. Greg J. Dixon, myself, and our church, the Indianapolis Baptist Temple, along with others across America and this state, has fought for religious liberty for over 30 years. We have paid a great price to do so, including a loss of friends and church property as the IRS raided our church in 2001 and stole $6 million worth of property. Many in the church world did not, nor do they today, agree with our stand. However, We wear what we did as a badge of honor. God has given back to us 100-fold, as he promised in the Gospels. Having said this, I agree with your stand next Monday in principle. However, there are two issues that come in play as I understand them. First, the clarification that the governor made concerning RFRA did not change or amend the law. See, everybody thinks they changed the law. They did nothing to the law. The law is absolutely the same as it was when they passed it originally. They just pacified everybody by clarifying it. But everybody thinks they changed it, and they didn't change it at all. Please do not misunderstand. I am not condoning the governor's response to the criticism he received. I have my own personal issues with the governor, while still calling him my friend. If I am incorrect, please let me know concerning his clarification. I've not heard from him since. Second, because most churches are 501c3 state corporations, they have already given up their First Amendment constitutional rights. Churches want it both ways. They want the benefits of the state, but do not want to obey the state's laws, even when they disagree with them biblically. The state knows we are hypocritical when it comes to these matters. To the state, churches are basically no different than any organization or business. In my opinion, and many others, the best thing we can do is give up our state 501c3 status, which we did 30 years ago, proclaim Jesus as head of his church, which we did 30 years ago, and be willing to live by our convictions and even die for religious liberty as our forefathers did. It is the only way to truly win and defend religious liberty. Our church gave up its 501c3 status over 30 years ago. We have functioned just fine without it. Now, I like RFRA. We have used it to win some cases and issues of our own. However, with or without it, my practices will not change, and man's evil laws do not pertain to our church. The state is not Lord of our churches. Jesus Christ is. So we must stop serving two masters. Again, RFRA is a great law. But when it was passed, Christians should not have gloated so much. Groups like Advance America help bring attention to and criticism of the law. Christians do not know how to win without gloating on their websites. I'm not sure you caught that last line. Christians do not know how to win without gloating on their websites. Sincerely, Greg A. Dixon. You see, I disagreed with this pastor, but I didn't attack him personally. We have to learn how to disagree, but not attack people personally. In the church of the Lord Jesus Christ, we need to learn how to disagree with each other without attacking each other personally. Because that is not of God. We had a wonderful service here with Dr. Gene Hood, pastor of the Independent Nazarene Church in Beech Grove, last Friday. We've had many lunches over the last 30 years. We've talked about eternal security. We've talked about whether you can lose your salvation, whether you can't lose your salvation. We've had these discussions between us. He still believes you can lose your salvation. Well, he doesn't now because he's in heaven. He knows the Baptists were right now. But he never changed in this life, and I didn't change. But you know what? We opened our doors, and we allowed them to come in, and they had a wonderful service here. It was a long service, about three and a half hours, something like that. It was a long service, but it was a good service. And all the speakers were good. You know, we can disagree and still be friends. Because we disagree doesn't mean we have to hate each other. We don't have to be haters. I want you to look at the person next to you and say, you don't have to be a hater. Go ahead, do it. Look at the person next to you. Say it. You don't have to be a hater. My daughter, Hannah, is graduating from Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia, where Dr. Jerry Falwell began the school over 30 years ago. I haven't always agreed with Liberty University. I think back in the mid-'80s when they took creationism and teaching creationism out of the theology department in order to get their accreditation, I think that was wrong. I said it was wrong then, and I still believe that it was wrong. And I disagreed with him doing so. But I've got a daughter graduating from there this year, and I've got another daughter going there in August. It's not because I agree with everything. But I will say this about Jerry Falwell, who now is in heaven. And he now knows that we were right. You wouldn't have met a finer individual on planet Earth than Jerry Falwell. He was a wonderful, wonderful man of God. Did he do everything right? No. Do I do everything right? No. Are we all going to stand before God one day? Yes. But if he met you 20 years ago and he saw you 20 years later, he would say, John, how you doing? Because he never forgot a name. He was one of the most personable people I've ever met. And you know the thing that I appreciated about Jerry Falwell is that he was going and he was determined to build the largest Christian university in the world. And you know what? He did. And nothing got in his way. And I can appreciate that about him. I don't have to agree with everybody to appreciate them. I don't have to agree with everyone to be their friend. I was preaching at a Bible college this week. Bunch of Baptists. They're the worst. And I brought a message on how David and his men lost their wives and children and everything, and how they began to cry when they came back home. And after they got done crying, the men started criticizing David. They turned on the leader. And finally, God said to David, listen, quit your crying. You know, there's a time to cry, and there's a time to stop crying. And God said, David, stop your crying, get up, and go after what has been stolen. Go after what has been lost. And they did, and they got everything. They got their wives, and they got their children, and they got their possessions, all their material. They got everything back. And then at the end of the message, I said, you know, there's some things that we need to get up and go after because there's some things that have been stolen. One of those things is our fellowship. Because we don't agree with each other on every little thing, we're not going to fellowship with each other. We're not going to like each other. We're going to accuse each other. We're going to make fun of each other. We're going to criticize each other. And I said, that's just wrong. Satan has stolen our fellowship over the littlest, smallest things. I said I was the fourth speaker on Wednesday morning. The first speaker, I said, and he's a personal friend. I said, Phil said something today in his message that I didn't really like very well. And the second guy, he said something I didn't really like very well. It just kind of made me cringe. And I'm sure I've already said something today that has made you cringe also. But what does that have to do with friendship? The messages were biblical. The messages were good. We get off and chase our rabbits, and they may not be so biblical sometimes. But when we stick with the Bible, it's pretty good. One of them was criticizing churches that don't have Sunday night services any longer. I try to be nice. I was telling about how I picked up a couple of guys that used to be homeless and took them to the Pacer game and took them to dinner a few weeks ago. I said I called and texted everybody in the church that I had numbers for to see if they would go to the Pacer game. I had 4 tickets, and I couldn't get anybody to go to the Pacer game with me. So I got in my car, took my 4 tickets, and went on my own. I'm the best fellowship I can find. at least that night. So on the way, I thought about those homeless guys. And so I called them and said, hey, do you want to go to a Pacer game? And I'm going to take you to dinner. They said yes. And so a couple of them came out, and we went to dinner, and we went to the Pacer game. About that time, some of them said, yeah, but you should have called me. I said, it wouldn't have done any good. You have services on Sunday night. So I got him. I said, you know, Jesus went to church on Sunday night. You know, it does say that in the Bible. Jesus also sang Amazing Grace every Sunday. You know that. It's in the Bible. We've got to stop attacking each other personally. And if we differ on something, that's fine. If you want to have church Sunday morning, Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, that's fine with me. I'd try it, but nobody'd come. I can hardly get you here on Sunday morning. This has nothing to do with the message today, but I just wanted to stop here for a while, and I'm just kind of having fun with it. The point is this: we need to learn how to disagree with each other and not be disagreeable. We need to know how to disagree and how to say things and not be critical. Amen? The religious crowd is always critical. And the religious crowd in Jesus' day, they were always critical. We need to learn how to disagree on principle without attacking each other personally. Likewise, we must get over and beyond our differences and criticisms and focus on developing intentional relationships with people who need Christ. We need to focus on the right thing. We need to preach the gospel. Back a couple of weeks ago, I went to a pastor's meeting here in town. It was a BBF meeting. I fellowship with all kinds of pastors. If you'll fellowship with me, I'll fellowship with you. And so I went to a BBF meeting here, and I've got some friends that were there, and there was a black pastor there. Never seen him in my life. His name was Pastor Dorsey. He said he pastored in the inner city, and he gave me his card, and I gave him my card. And I said, well, let's get together one of these days. And I told him some of the things we're doing in the inner city, and I said, let's get together one of these days and have lunch and talk about it. He said, that'd be great. About a week later, I get a text from Jan Marshall, who is one of our missionaries in Wales. And they're here in town, they're up in Michigan, and they give my name to another black pastor down in Alabama who is a church planter and a pastor there. And he's coming through town, and he's up there at this conference, and they give him my name and phone number for them to contact me. Well, after they did, she felt bad about it because she didn't get permission to give him my cell phone, my personal cell phone. And so she texted me and apologized for it, and I texted her back and said, no big deal. And a few days later, this pastor called me. He says, I'm coming through town tomorrow, and I'd like to meet you. I said, well, I don't know if I have time. I've got some appointments and some things to do, but call me when you get into town, and we'll see what's going on. So he did. He says, I'm going to be at Pastor Dorsey's church. I said, you know, I've heard that name somewhere before. Pastor Dorsey. Pastor Dorsey. Man, I've heard that name. All of a sudden I said, I think he pastors at 38th and Keystone. He said, that's exactly right. I said, I'll meet you there. So long story short, we met and we talked about the India Initiative, and we talked about church planning, and we talked about starting tuition-free Christian schools for disadvantaged children all around the city, and we talked about young champions, and we talked about urban youth ministry, and we talked about what we're doing in the city, and we talked about our vacation Bible schools, and just talked about about India Initiative, and they're so excited, and he's got a network of pastors, and I've got a network of pastors, and we're going to get together here very soon, the next month or so, and we're going to try to figure out how we can change the city of Indianapolis by preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ. You see, the city's bigger than just one church. Now, do I agree with everything? No. Do I agree with everything that these black pastors in the city that I'm working with? Most of them are Democrats. I'm not a Democrat, wouldn't be a Democrat if you paid me to be a Democrat. I'm not much of a Republican either, so I'll just make you all mad today. I think all of them are worthless most of the time. I don't agree with them on every little thing. And I don't even care what their political persuasion is. I don't even care. Because I'm not there to change their political persuasion. I'm there to try to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ and plant some more churches and get some more people saved. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to accomplish. And all these other things just get in your way of the main thing. We've got to keep the main thing the main thing. There's nothing wrong with getting involved in politics. I'm not preaching against that. I'm just saying we got to keep the main thing the main thing. Amen? Listen, Jesus kept the main thing the main thing. He was on his way to Calvary. He was on his way to the cross. He was on his way there so that men and women and boys and girls might be saved. And that should be what we stress also. Now, going back to the story. The religious crowd asked, "Why do you eat with and drink with sinners?" And look what he said in Mark chapter 2 and verse number 14. "And as he passed by, he saw Levi the son of Alphaeus sitting at the receipt of custom," he was a tax collector, "and said unto him, Follow me. And he arose and followed him." Here's the answer. People are spiritually sick and are in need of transformation. That's why Jesus came to this earth. People are spiritually sick and are in need of change. They are in need of transformation. Oh, how many here today need transformed? All of us do. How many here need to be changed? All of us do. Well, let me tell you what happens when we involve ourselves in relational intentionality with people. Number one, relational intentionality produces family. When you get saved, another person becomes a part of the family of God. And I want you to know that God has a big, big family. There are a lot of people that are saved that don't look like me, don't act like me, don't go to church with me, don't believe the same things I believe. There are a lot of people that have believed on the Lord Jesus Christ. If we get to the place where we think that only people who look like us and go to our church and act like us and believe everything about the Bible like we do are saved, we are sadly mistaken. There are not going to be very many people in heaven. I'm glad that God made salvation so simple through Christ. Believe on the Lord Jesus Christ, and thou shalt be saved. He made it so simple. Now, where you're baptized, is that important? Yes. Where you go to church, is that important? Yes. Who you fellowship with, is that important? Yes. What you believe doctrinally, is that important? Yes. Yes, all those things are important. But none of those things have to do with believing on the Lord Jesus Christ. You see, after we get saved, everything else is about reward. And how obedient we are to Christ will determine what kind of reward that we have one day from the Lord Jesus. But there's no reason to worry about the reward until, first of all, we believe on the Lord Jesus Christ. We're going to Mexico in July. Why? Because we want them to believe on the Lord Jesus Christ. We're not going to Mexico to change their politics. We're not going to Mexico to vote. We're not going to Mexico to get involved politically. We're going to be going down to the square, and that's where all the political activity takes place, and it's a neat place, and all kinds of restaurants and neat places to go. But I want you to know, we're not going to the square in Oaxaca City, Mexico, to get involved politically. We're going there to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ so that Mexicans might believe that Jesus is the Son of God. That's why we're going. That's why we go into our city. That's why we're planting churches. That's why we're doing the things that we're doing. That's why we raise money. That's why we give. That's why we're faithful, because we get up every day to do the main thing and make the main thing the main thing. And all the people said, I want you to know that relational intentionality, when we start getting to know people and we lead them to Christ, it produces family. They become a part of a new family, the family of God. Do you remember when you became a part of the family of God? Well, there are a lot of other people that need to become a part of the family of God. Number two, relational intentionality not only produces family, but practices one-on-one relationships. We need to develop and practice one-on-one relationships. We need to go find somebody and share Jesus Christ with them. One-on-one. One-on-one. Meet somebody at the store. Meet somebody at the market. Meet somebody at the mall. Meet somebody at work. Meet somebody in the neighborhood. Maybe even meet somebody at church. And one-on-one, reach them for Jesus Christ. Relational intentionality practices one-on-one relationships. Get out of our easy chairs. Get out of the four walls of our homes. Get out into the streets and meet somebody that needs the Lord. And disciple them one-on-one. Spend time with them one-on-one. Get to know them one-on-one. Relational intentionality does something else. It provides space for difficult people. You see, when you start reaching people and start getting to know people and start hanging out with people a little bit, I want you to know that space will be provided for difficult people, because not everybody that you meet is going to be easy to meet and easy to deal with. They're going to have problems. They're going to have sins. They're going to have difficulties. They're going to have things in their life that you gave up a long time ago, and as a result, you're just a little uncomfortable with those things at this stage in your spiritual life. But you know what? We need to learn how to get along with drug addicts. We need to learn how to get along and talk with alcoholics. How about prostitutes down on the streets of Indianapolis? How about people that have different sins and different hang-ups and different difficulties in their lives? We get along with people that look just like us and act just like us and smell just like us, walk just like us. But there's a lot of people out there that you need to have a relationship with so that you can share Christ with them that looks nothing and acts nothing like you and me. And we've got to get out of our comfort zone and provide space for difficult people. Oh, it gets messy. The more you help people, the more it's going to come back on you. I've got people that owe me money. I've got people that owe me rent. I've got people that they've stolen things. What am I going to do? Go back home in the suburbs and say I'm not going to go help anybody anymore? No, you just go find somebody else and provide space for them one-on-one and try to make a difference in their lives. We don't quit because of difficult people. May I say this? Relational intentionality has systems and processes. We've got to develop a system and a process in our lives to get out of our comfort zones and meet people. that need the Lord. May I say in conclusion today, if we will embrace relational intentionality, if we will embrace people, if we will embrace sinners, if we will embrace strangers, if we will embrace a welcoming attitude, if we will abandon judgmental attitudes and murmuring and complaining and hypocrisy and accusing and finding fault, then I want you to know we will find people and we can have a relationship with them and we can give them love and we can give them hope and we can give them forgiveness in Jesus' name. Isn't that a wonderful thing? And we can experience change and repentance and transformation of people while on our mission for God. I want to close with Luke chapter 15 and verse number 1. Luke chapter 15 and verse number 1. It says, "Then drew near unto him all the publicans and sinners for to hear him. And the Pharisees and scribes murmured, saying, This man receiveth sinners, and eateth with them. And he spake this parable unto them, saying, What man of you having 100 sheep, if he lose one of them, doth not leave the 99 in the wilderness, and go after that which is lost until he find it? And when he hath found it, he layeth it on his shoulders, rejoicing. And when he cometh home, he calleth together his friends and neighbors, saying unto them, Rejoice with me, for I have found my sheep which was lost. I say unto you that likewise joy shall be in heaven over one sinner that repents, more than over 99 just persons which need no repentance. Either what woman, having 10 pieces of silver, if she lose one piece, doth not light a candle and sweep the house and seek diligently till she find it? And when she hath found it, she calleth her friends and her neighbors together, saying, Rejoice with me, for I have found the piece which I had lost. Likewise," verse 10, "I say unto you, there is joy in the presence of the angels of God over one sinner that repenteth." I believe when unbelievers believe, there's rejoicing. I believe when believers repent, there is rejoicing. I believe when believers are recovered, there is rejoicing. I believe when believers come back to the fold, to the local church, there is rejoicing. I want you to know that there should be a continual rejoicing going up in our hearts and in our lives in thanksgiving to God for lives that are being transformed and lives that are being changed, for your life that has been changed and my life that has been transformed. And because ours have been, we need to seek others so that theirs may be also. Because the rejoicing shouldn't take place just in heaven. The rejoicing of people being found should also take place in the church and in our hearts and in our homes and in our lives. I want you to know, and I want to encourage you today, I want you to go home, and this week I want you to throw the biggest party you can throw. I want you to go and get some hamburgers. You can go to Kroger. They've got these things with 10 patties already made up. I bought them this week myself. 10 patties already made up. And get those 10 patties and buy 2. Don't be a cheapskate. Buy 2. And then go around to every neighbor around you and invite them next Saturday evening to your house for a cookout. You pay. You spend your money. You get the drinks, you get the hamburgers, you get the chips, you buy the dip, and invite everyone around you to your house for a party next Saturday night. And then this is what I want you to do. Jesus is not here to invite him personally, so you just invite the next best thing, and that's your pastor. And you know what? We'll share Jesus with them. Wouldn't that be a wonderful thing? I was having a little cookout the other night. I looked over and saw my neighbor mowing his grass. Marcus and Belinda. You know what? I thought, we need to have Marcus and Belinda and their children over to our house and have a little cookout. You see, they're different than me. He's black, she's white. The kids are black. They're not married. They just live together. And you know what? They're different than me. They're different than most of you. But what does that have to do with their souls? And you know what? I'm going to invite Marcus and Belinda and their kids over for a cookout. And I want to encourage every single one of you, next Saturday night, all throughout this city, we're going to have about 200 cookouts. And we're just going to see what Jesus does when he shows up. Because he'll show up through you. Amen? Oh, Jesus was criticized. It's easy to criticize. We need to focus on the main thing and make the main thing the main thing. And just do it and do it and do it over and over and over again. And you know what? When Marcus gets saved, there's going to be rejoicing. When Belinda gets saved, there's going to be rejoicing. If their kids get saved, there's going to be rejoicing. If my other neighbors get saved, there's going to be rejoicing. We've got another family that lives right behind us. He's Palestinian. She's American. Two beautiful little kids. They come over and they play with Lincoln. We've had them over before. They came over to our house and for a party once, and they brought a nice bottle of champagne. I know what some of you are thinking right now. Don't throw it out. Give it to me. I can tell by the look on your face. Bunch of sinners. There needs to be rejoicing in heaven. There needs to be rejoicing on earth. Because we got involved, as Jesus did, in relational intentionality. Quit being holier than thou. Quit being a pious gas bag. And start being like Jesus. Let's stand for prayer.